Got him. Number one. And we're way back in this flat. Very, very little water. You guys can see how low the water is. I'm just looking for any little place where the channel swings up against and just creates a little bit of depth. That's just a little bit deeper than everything else. You can see the fish are back here chasing bait up against some of these mud banks and stuff. And guys, Fletcher Shryock here, Bass Pro Tour angler, here today on Chickamauga in the fall. You can see the water's dropped. Man, fishing in the fall is tough. So what I decided to do today, I'm a big flipper and pitcher. I like to do that, but I'm going to scale it down a little bit. I'm going to get into what I consider finesse flipping. So it's a little bit lighter, vicious fluorocarbon, still braided to fluorocarbon, but a little bit lighter fluorocarbon leader. This is like a typical 15-pound overall leader material. This is Vicious, their newest fluorocarbon. It's their 19-pound, but it's really thin. I'm using a Big Bite Baits 3.5-inch tube, green pumpkin, on a 1/4 to a 5/16 ounce weight, guys. I'm not wanting to overpower this tube. I'm wanting it, when I pitch it to a piece of isolated cover, I want this tube to dart around and dance, and I want it to glide around. So the heavier weight I put on it kills that glide. I'm trying to finesse it around, and that's why that lightweight's so important. I like to use a flipping hook, a straight shank flipping hook, when I'm fishing a tube. It's really the only hook that I will flip with. This is the TK 135 by Trocar. It's called the Monster Flip Hook. It's got a huge wire, a huge bar, but it's not too much. I like to use the braid to fluoro leader, as I mentioned, and that has been the perfect hook for me. I almost always peg my my flipping and pitching baits, keep it all together, keeps the weight against the bait. But I'm using a 7.3 medium heavy action rod. I'm wanting a softer rod because I don't want to break this leader. I'm not fishing in super gnarly cover. I'm just trying to get them out around the stick or a laydown. This 7.3 by Favorite's pretty awesome. It's in the Pro Series. But 40-pound braided main line is huge for me. I don't like to go crazy heavy on my braid either because I'm not able to flip and pitch a lightweight very easy using 50 or 65-pound braid. If I'm using 30 or 40, it's much easier for that bait to come off the spool. So I like to use a high-speed reel. This is an 8-to-1. I try not to go much faster than that with the reels out there nowadays because you lose power, you lose torque with the handle. So I want to use an 8-to-1. I'm still able to burn a lot of line back, but when I hook a fish, I'm able to winch it out of the cover. So that's my basic setup. We're just banging around fishing some of the real obvious targets out here. When the water's low, it's kind of easy to tell where your bites are going to come from, but the bites are few and far between. So you just got to cover a lot of water, try to fish some stuff with a little bit of depth on it, and these fish are up there just isolated. Most of them are feeding on bait, but when you drop a little finesse tube in there, they're going to bite it too. So we're going to get after it and see what we can do.